Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Car Lot Confessions. I am your host, Frank Fanzoni, and it is another wonderful Tuesday night here, October the 8th. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for everybody who's come in and joining tonight. Excited to be here. Another great show ahead of us. We're going to have a lot of content to cover tonight, a lot of great things to talk about. So happy to have everybody here. Finally off on a Tuesday, Renee's here. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Renee. We've missed you. Glad you can make the show. It's going to be a good one. We got some good stuff. Hopefully you guys had a chance to read the article and do the poll. Let's get some housekeeping things out of the way real quick. First off, it is Tuesday, October 8th. I am wearing my new Lothrop Odyssey of the Mind sweatshirt tonight. It has gotten that time here in Michigan. It is fall time, so a little colder. Having to wear a couple other layers nowadays. But if you have something that you'd like to have presented on Car Lot Confessions, please feel free to send me a private message, and we can talk about it, and I'd be more than happy to promote either your company or something positive that you'd like to see on a live taping of Car Lot Confessions. You just got to send me that private message. Other than that, while you guys are here, if you could do me a huge favor, like, share, and follow the page, especially sharing the video right now so we can go ahead and get a few extra people on the show would be greatly appreciated. So if you guys would be willing to hit that share button real quick, let's see if we can get a couple more people on that we haven't normally had and welcome them into the Car Lot Confessions community. So I'd really greatly appreciate that. Go ahead and hit that smash that share button and hit the like button right now so I know you guys are here. But thank you so much, guys. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so that is the housekeeping stuff for now, which I am happy to have. That's taken care of. Now I'm looking forward to the show, that's for sure. We have had a couple of technical difficulties in regards to the soundboard tonight, so hopefully we can get that to work. It's not a show without the sounds, right? We know we all love those. Hello, Diane. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Kara, Ray, thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate everybody's support. I will applaud all of you. Thank you for being here. We're going to see if we can get our sound effects to work tonight. Oh, it would not be Car Lot Confessions without at least one or two technical difficulties, right? But we're happy to be here. There's our applause. We made it. All right. So hopefully you guys got a chance to read the article. We'll get into that here in just a few things. Good evening, Diane. Thank you for being here. Hopefully a couple more people will jump on, but very excited to be here tonight. Very excited for Car Lot Confessions. Hopefully you guys are too. So let's get into the poll question from last week. I didn't get a whole lot of votes. I do know that I think it did change. I believe there was a couple extra votes and I didn't update. So I'm going to actually pop over real quick and see if we can find the most updated data. So let's just do that. Hopefully I don't lose you in the process of doing so, which I don't think I'll do. Let's scroll down here on the page. Let's see what last week's poll is at. We'll give you the most up-to-date information as we speak. If you guys have it up, which you probably don't because you guys are watching me right now, which is super great. I'd rather have you doing that. We will get that data. Hopefully everybody's having a good night. Hopefully everybody had a good week. Here we go. 82% chose Jimmy Fallon in The Tonight Show. 18% chose Colbert in The Late Show. So much more Jimmy Fallon fans than Colbert fans, it looks like. But I'm a Jimmy Fallon fan. I don't know. I don't know. I chose that one just because of, the fact from last week about The Tonight Show and all that, and Johnny Carson and the debuting of the show from last week. All that kind of stuff. I thought it was a pretty good poll. Not too many people probably stay up these days and watch the late shows anymore, just because they're on so late. But what do you do? But I thought it was a good poll. I enjoyed the poll. Hopefully you guys did too. We do have the poll for this week up as well, and we've already got quite a few responses to it. Super excited that people are jumping on there and voting. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure you guys get on there and vote. But on this date, October 8th, is actually National Pierogi Day, which I thought was very fun. It recognizes an international dish that is a type of dumpling. That is what a pierogi is, if you've never had one. We eat them like crazy at my house. We do enjoy them. But of course, your two choices, you either love them or either gross. So go ahead and make sure that you guys smash which one of those you like, and share that poll as well. Let's see if we can get some more votes this week on that poll. It's already got a little bit of popularity today, and I'm hoping throughout the week we can get quite a few more votes on there. A couple quick facts in regards to Pierogi Day, which is today, October 8th. In Whiting, Indiana, celebrates an annual Pierogi Fest, but they hold theirs in July. The Pittsburgh Pirates hold a pierogi race at every home game. They have 6 pierogi costumes, wearing runners who run around the bases and cross a finish line, but they have one at every home game, which I didn't know that. Never been to a Pirates game. And lastly, Glendon, Alberta, Canada is home to the 6,000-pound pierogi, which is made out of fiberglass and steel. And with it, piercing it, is a giant fork as well that's coming out of it. It was built in 1991, and it is a 25-foot tall pierogi and fork. If you're into those wonderful side sightseeing things, and you ever make it to Glendon, Alberta, Canada, you can see a giant pierogi there, which I thought was interesting. Hopefully you guys did too. I don't know. All right. So, all right. So that is the poll question of the night and some facts to go along with it. No, I want to know what you guys think about that poll question. Hopefully it was a good one. I enjoyed the poll question. I like these kind of facts these days. Kind of interesting to look these things up, but it's stuff I wouldn't normally look at or want to know, but I do it for the show, and it's actually been quite interesting for me, so hopefully you guys like it too. Anyways, so with that being said, hopefully the show's coming through good tonight. Internet should be good. Got a lot of content. If you guys could smash that like button real quick so I know you guys are here, I greatly appreciate it. And share this again so we can get a couple new viewers on. I'd really like to see some new faces here on Car Lot Confessions and get their opinions as we continue to go with the show. It's always nice to have more people involved because, as always, Car Lot Confessions is a show that's hosted by me, but it's really for you, and you can be part of the show. So for all my longtime viewers and supporters here, you guys know that you guys are a big part of the show. So wonderful. Thank you so much, guys, for smashing that like button. I can see it. All right. So I guess that gets us into our newest segment that I enjoy. As we all know, is Grinds My Gears. And tonight's Grinds My Gears comes to you courtesy of my daughter, Riley. I was having a hard time. I've been trying to really turn a real positive look this last week or so, and trying to keep my cool, not let so many things bother me. So I haven't really had too many moments this week where something grinded my gears, but I called my daughter tonight and said, I need a topic for Grinds My Gears. And instantly she said the topic that we're going to cover tonight, because it is something that does grind my gears, hasn't happened this past week, but it is a good one. And of course, this one is one that is very much a classic. People that chew with their mouths open. That's Grinds My Gears tonight. We are definitely going to talk about that. People that chew with their mouths open. Let's discuss this real quick, because this really does grind my gears. Now, there comes a point at a certain age when you should realize that nobody wants to see you chew with your mouth open, right? Nobody wants to see what you're chewing. I know that sometimes with braces and stuffy noses and congestion and all that kind of stuff, sometimes you can't help it. But tell me what's worse than going to a restaurant and sitting across from somebody or at another table and you can see them and hear them chewing their food. That's something that absolutely grinds my gears. It is disgusting. It's gross. I realize that eating is never really a pretty thing. It's not pretty to eat. And the whole process in itself is never something that, I mean, I love to cook and I love to feed people, but the process of eating itself is kind of a disgusting thing to do if you really think about it. And then to match that on top of having somebody chew with their mouth open so you can see them grind their food up so they can swallow it, I can't stand that. It definitely grinds my gears. On top of that, though, the sounds and the crunching and the smacking of the lips and all of that kind of stuff, hopefully none of you guys out there are open mouth eaters, because it really grinds my gears. Let me know if it grinds your guys' gears as well. I can see you guys in the chat. Make sure you guys comment. I definitely do not want any crickets in the chat tonight, so make sure that you stay extremely active tonight. No crickets, guys, as always. I want to hear your guys' opinion, so make sure you guys are there. As always, I really want you guys to come on and do it. So anyways, with that said, guys, it's going to be a great show tonight. That's Grind My Gears. Again, unfortunately, I didn't have a massive topic for Grinds My Gears tonight. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. People chewing with their mouths open, though, is a pretty common thing. It does happen a lot. Again, like I said, I realize when you have, like, braces, or you're having, congestion and things like that, it happens. But when you go to a restaurant and you can hear the guy next to you chewing, or the guy behind you chewing, or you can see the person across from you chewing, you tell me that's not a turn off, or something that kind of just gets to you, because it does get to me, bugs me. It definitely can ruin a meal, that's for sure. And I know I harp on my kids about it a lot, just because, like I said, eating is not pretty. Definitely not a pretty thing. So grinds my gears. That's all I got for that segment this week. A little lame, but it was a great suggestion by my daughter. Thank you so much for the suggestion tonight. What can you do? We'll have a better suggestion next week. And again, as always, guys, if you have something that grinds your gears and you have a topic that you would like to have discussed on Car Lot Confessions under the Grinds My Gears segment, please feel free to send me a private message anytime. You guys can go ahead and send me a message if there's content you'd like to see on the show. I will always be happy to read your suggestions and do everything I can in my power to make sure we get your suggestions on the show, because, again, this is a show for you guys, by you guys. So send me those that information if there's something you guys want to see on Grinds My Gears. Renee comes in and says, it is bad. My child, I can literally hear the water they swallow hit their stomach, and it annoys the hell out of me. Good to know I'm not the only one who can't stand loud eaters, I guess you could say, and people that eat with their mouths open. The water hitting the stomach thing, that's an interesting one, and I thank you for the description on that. I really did enjoy that. That's a good one. That is very good. If you guys have any, I don't know if you guys heard that. That is definitely not one of my sound effects. But I'll give you guys some applause there for you real quick. Thank you so much. And thank you for chiming in, Renee. I greatly appreciate it. Yes, it's nice to know there's other people that grinds their gears as well, because it definitely grinds mine. All right, let's get past that, because that was not always the best grind my gears, but it was a good segment on the show. Let's get into I was hoping we'd have a few more people on tonight. Justin's just chimed in. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I am so glad you could be here as well. Renee, Kiara, Diane, thank you guys for being here on the show tonight. Looks like a couple more people are starting to show up just before we get into in the news, and hopefully you guys had a chance to read the article tonight. It is an interesting one. It's something that actually, to be honest with you, kind of grinds my gears as well if we want to get into that, but we will during the article itself. It was definitely an interesting one, though, in regards to I have children. So a lot of people on here have children, or know people who do stupid things, I guess, which is kind of a good segue into the article for tonight. In the news, let's go ahead and get into the news. All right, so in the news, guys, the article was titled, Michigan boy who is 12 turns in fire challenge game, mom says. Burned in fire challenge game, mom says. In the news segment, guys, again, I do not want to hear any crickets in the chat. Make sure you guys are commenting and let me know how you guys feel about this news article. Let's go ahead and get right into it, though. It is going to be an interesting one. Hopefully you guys had a chance to read it. Here we go. I don't know if you guys have heard these or not. These are Instagram and challenges that you see on Facebook, and it kind of started out a little bit with the ice bucket challenge. If you guys remember the ice bucket challenge a couple of years ago, everybody was doing it. They were challenging people. You called a couple people out on Facebook. They would do the challenge. They called a couple other people out. Great challenge, and it was a great thing for social media because it really did bring a lot of awareness to MLS or whatever it was that it was about, but to the disease and to trying to find a cure and all that kind of stuff, and it raised a lot of money for it. So that I thought was really cool, and I too did the Ice Bucket Challenge, and if you're friends with me on Facebook, you can always go back and see that video. But that, in a sense, was awesome. But what I don't like is it did start off this whole challenge aspect to social media. Now, if you guys read this article, what this is it's called the Fire Challenge. And what it is, it's basically people setting themselves on fire as the challenge and videotaping it and video recording it, putting it up on Instagram, putting it up on Snapchat or Facebook or any one of those social media sites. It's disturbing that these challenges are all over Instagram and YouTube and whatnot. Have you guys ever come across any of those? Let me know in the chat if you have, because that is absolutely ridiculous. These challenges in general. I mean, if you are challenged to hurt yourself, let's just go back to the Tide Pod challenge. People were eating Tide Pods. I mean, chemicals that you wash your clothes with. Yeah. Anyways, this one is the Fire Challenge, and there's a bunch of these out there, actually. I did a little bit of research in regards to these. Let me know if you guys have heard of them. The Hot Water Challenge, which is you dump boiling water or drink it through a straw, to me is interesting. That's one of the challenges I saw. Who would want to dump hot water on themselves? I mean, come on. If anybody's actually ever burnt themselves with hot water, it absolutely hurts. And why would you do this on purpose? That I don't ever understand. In fact, I read an article I read a part of an article where the hot water challenge itself, a kid dumped hot boiling water on another kid and videotaped it thinking it was a joke and actually gave the kid like second-degree burns. Like, that's like assault, if you ask me. Like, I don't understand that. I don't know who comes up with these. Diane actually asked, who comes up with these stupid things and why? Again, I think the why is the fame that you can get from social media and your videos going viral. And that's the part that I don't understand, is how much are people willing to sacrifice to try to become famous? That's the only reason I can understand people doing these challenges. Another one of these challenges, again, the Fire Challenge, which is this is about, which is lighting yourself on fire with either rubbing alcohol or nail polish remover or a lighter fluid. And kids are dousing their shirts, they're putting rubbing alcohol in their hands, and they're lighting fire to themselves. And to me, I don't understand what's the point of this kind of stuff. Tons of these challenges are out there, though, and they're ranging from, you'll see these challenges, they can be nonsense type deal. You got the kicking the bottle cap off the bottle challenge, to squeezing a watermelon with your thighs challenge. There is a bunch of dumb challenges out there. Some innocent, some kind of fun to watch, some dangerous, which I feel like that's the only point of that, is for like clickbait and for people to view, to get more views. And what it's doing is, I think it's putting our kids in danger. Clearly, if kids are burning themselves and scalding themselves with hot boiling water and eating Tide Pods, this is one of the things that we need to start addressing, I think, as parents and as a community. What are we not paying enough attention to our kids, per se? Is that really the case for these kids to be going out and doing these types of challenges? They're getting new and crazier every single day. And that is, I think, the whole sense of this is because they want more followers. They want more views. They want more. And I guess it's no different than me here at Car Lot Confessions. I want to build this community. Here I'm trying to make a positive change. I want as many viewers as we can get to try to make the change and be the change and send that message out. I can understand the point of wanting some popularity and wanting to be viewed and wanting to get your message out there. But doing this in a manner that is injuring yourself or others is not appropriate, and it's not good. And unfortunately, our kids are being influenced through the social media and through avenues of information technology that is so quick, instant information, instant technology. is straight to them that they're seeing these things and they want the popularity that other people are gaining from stuff like this. To me, it's just ridiculous. Jared, welcome to the show. Glad you could be here. We're talking about in the news right now, if you're just joining us, in regards to these challenges that are out there. We kind of covered the old ice bucket challenge that kind of kicked all this stuff off. And now we have the hot water challenge and the fire challenge. We have the Tide Pod challenge. All of these challenges now have become dangerous and are starting to cause a real issue and be a safety problem for our children. So many kids are on YouTube and Instagram and Snapchat, and it's influencing them to do things that are harmful for themselves or harmful to others, and this is something that we need to address. Some real quick facts about social media right now. 1.9 billion users worldwide are on YouTube. 1.9 billion users on any given day are on YouTube. 1 billion users on Instagram. YouTube's one of the biggest social media outlets, by the way. Instagram as well. 1 billion and 1.9 billion on any given day in regards to YouTube and Instagram. Our kids, their number one or the number two search engine in the world is YouTube. We've discussed that before. And they're searching videos and seeing these people do these challenges, and it's influencing them to recreate them or do them themselves, which, again, these are dangerous. Again, hot water, fire, eating chemicals, doing stupid things. What does this world come to? Here's another statistic that I saw that I thought blew my mind a bit as well. 400 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every single minute. Every minute, 400 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube. To me, that was a mind-blowing statistic. 400 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That's a ton of video. And a lot of that probably contains just horrible challenges of people hurting themselves. Who knows what it is? That's a lot of hours. But that stuff is out there. And I do know kids are susceptible to mimicking things they see. Renee says, this world is freaking scary. Yes, it is, especially when kids are eating chemicals like laundry detergent and being told to do so because it's fun and funny and it can get you instant fame. Yet it can also get you a trip to the emergency room at the same time. All of these challenges that are dangerous, to me, are insane. Now, let me know if your kids, or if you know of any kids who have tried this stuff or something, or if you've even seen these. I'd love to hear you guys weigh in on this. No crickets in the chat for me tonight, guys. Let me know what you think. But it is definitely an issue, and it is going on out there right now. And sorry, guys. Again, I have to thumb through these. It is definitely an interesting topic, though, and I've been seeing these, and this article really got me scared, just because it was so apparent that, I mean, I have a 12-year-old. I have a 12-year-old son, and not that I think he would ever do anything like this. I would hope not, and know the right from wrong in regards to catching yourself on fire. But sometimes popularity and followers and fame seems to be more important to kids these days. Let's see what you guys are saying. Diane weighs in. Isn't there a way that YouTube can pull these videos? They probably can. But unfortunately, YouTube is one of those places that's very much about freedom of speech. And they kind of have tried to allow this to be a platform for people to express themselves in ways and to do things the way they want to. I would think they should be pulled as well. But that's a very touchy subject. I want to know what you guys think about that. Renee says, the challenges are scary and kids are sneaky. They do this stuff because they think it is cool and they're going to be popular. And exactly that's what it is. Kids are doing this stuff because they want to be popular. They have seen so much instant fame and success on the internet these days through Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and YouTube. All these YouTube stars and Instagram stars making money, making tons of money, doing things on the internet. And what's going to get you more views? something dangerous or something that, everybody else is kind of doing, Jared weighs in, I'll need to ask my younger son to see if his friends are doing anything, which I'd appreciate because I had not yet got a chance to ask my children if they've been seeing any of this, but I'm sure 100% they're aware of it. These challenges and things are out there constantly. And again, anytime there's 400 hours of video being uploaded every minute to YouTube, by golly, my kid's on YouTube all the time. We need to regulate that a little bit more. But he loves YouTube, watches YouTube, sees all these videos and these crazy videos being uploaded, I'm sure, or they're watching gaming videos or whatever it is that they're watching. We need to, as parents, be monitoring this. And that's the other thing. I mean, it really does come down to monitoring our kids, but you can't keep an eye on them 24/7 either. Another fact for you, 5 million daily active users are on Instagram at one given time. 500 million daily active users. That's a ton. And that's a lot of content that's being taken in. They say the average mobile viewing session of either Instagram or YouTube is more than 40 minutes. So as these kids and people, even adults, are logging on to YouTube or Instagram, they're spending at least 40 minutes or more looking at content. Now, a lot of these videos I see are less than 40 minutes or a couple of minutes long, so on and so be the case. And there's so much consistent information being uploaded that, new videos every second, 400 hours every minute, actually. What are they seeing? What is going up? These challenges to me, though, are crazy. So kids are catching themselves on fire. They're doing things with hot water. They're kicking bottle caps. They're doing bottle flips. There's these trick things that they do, but these dangerous ones are the things that we need to look out for. And I mean, I know I've always taught my kids that fire is hot and fire is bad and fire can burn and don't touch that, all that kind of stuff, right? We do that at a young age. But kids are sneaky, like Renee said. Kids are sneaky. Kids want popularity. It is a mechanism inside us all that we all want to be accepted and popular. We always want to be the best. We always want to be recognized. So people are doing it now because it's such a easy access to information and video and putting yourself out there and whatnot. And again, and Car Lot Confessions is an example in itself. I mean, I'm living my dream here doing this show and for you guys and enjoying being the host of the show. So I'm taking advantage of the fact that it's available. I'm also trying to provide positive content, but it is out there, and a lot of people are just putting content up to be popular. Let's see here. Renee chimes in again. Thankfully, I don't think any of my kids or their friends have done this. My younger two watch a lot of videos on YouTube. My oldest hates social media, so she doesn't watch anything. Good thing she's headed down that path because that seems to be the lesser than most. Social media is so much in everybody's face these days. Kids are following it. They're constantly posting on it. And so she's staying away from it. That's a good thing, I think. Kids think they are invincible and nothing bad will ever happen to them. Renee chimes in. Hi, Kyle. Thanks for jumping on the show. Glad you could be here. Hopefully you enjoy it. Please chime in on the news article we're talking about here that was posted and that we're discussing right now. But you're right. Kids do think they're invincible. I thought I was invincible until I was about 25 years old. And they do stupid things. And I know kids learn by mistakes and this kind of stuff, but I don't think at ever time when I was a kid or kids that I knew, did we ever feel like we needed to set ourselves on fire to get people to like us. And unfortunately, that's what Instagram and YouTube and these challenges are kind of doing out there, is to kind of gain that popularity and try to have people notice you. It's so much. That's, that just kind of popped in my head here, and I want to know what you guys think about that. When we were kids, or when I was a kid, and I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but I'm in my late 30s. When I was a kid, social media and internet and all that stuff wasn't even that big a deal. Wasn't around. Social media wasn't even around. I remember dial-up. But we didn't have to worry about the world seeing us, per se. Our instant world, our world around us, our our close peers and our close world around us is who saw us. And once you made that impression, it was made and it was done. You had your friends, you had your enemies, you had whatever, right? But that was it. It was the instant people around you or the close world in which you lived in. Now with the internet, the world has expanded and much, much larger, and people want that exposure and are constantly looking to get that quick judgment of people liking them and making them famous. We didn't have these capabilities when I was young, so this stuff was kind of new to me. Probably new to most of you guys as well. Not new per se, but trying to understand it, I guess. So if you guys can help me understand it, I appreciate it. But let's do this. Let's move into the question of the night. All right, so here's the question of the night. I really want you guys to weigh in for me on this one. Do you think there should be better regulations and monitoring of what is going up on the internet, or does that infringe on our freedoms, like the freedom of speech? So that's what I want to ask you guys as the question of the night. And I want to know, seriously, I want you guys to weigh in on this one because I think it's a very interesting question, and I think it's something that we all should have an opinion on. But do you think there should be a better regulations and monitoring of what is going up on the internet, or does that infringe on our freedoms like the freedom of speech? Let me know what you guys think about that. Kyle weighs in. Thank you, Kyle, for weighing in tonight. The question is, how do we teach them they are not invincible without instilling too much fear? That is also a really great question, Kyle. Thanks for raising that. That's a good question. I think education is the key. I try to think about raising young children and teaching them not to touch the stove because it's hot, or not to talk to strangers because bad things can happen. We always try to find that balance in regards to things like stranger danger, where you don't want to you want to trust that you're safe, stay away from people, trust your gut, say hi and be polite, but not necessarily, go off with someone. There's always that fine line. And unfortunately, with how fast the internet has come and how fast these social media platforms have been built and people are responding to them, maybe we haven't had the time to find that fine line of what's good and what's bad and what's safe and what's not. That's a great question, Kyle. Thanks for weighing in on that. That's actually a good one to think about. Jared kind of chimes in. That's tough to regulate what's going on the internet. Who will be the one to authorize what should be posted or not? And that's true. I think that's a big-time job, especially when you have 400 hours every minute going up on YouTube. Who has that kind of time to monitor what that is? Should we be automating this in regards to should there be triggers that automate what goes on and goes up? I don't know. That's a great question, though. That's a lot, and that is true, and I do think it infringes a bit. Diane weighs in. Is there a reason these kids' self-esteem so bad that they have to do these things? Diane, that's a good point, and that's something that I think that is also should be talked about, is the self-esteem and how these kids are feeling. I think we're moving into a day and age now where we're getting into kids wanting Insta fame, and that being something that is a part of their world, and it's very much showing that it can be successful if you do the right things. If you can get enough people to follow you, you can become famous. And before, the only people that were famous in my world before the internet were the people that were on movies and on TV and on the radio, singers, that kind of stuff, and down the normal avenues of trying to become a more household name. But nowadays, you have Instagram famous, you have YouTube famous, you have Snapchat famous, and they're all different people, and they're becoming household names. And these kids are seeing how fast you can rise in fame and in fortune through these simple platforms that anybody can post to. So that kind of cuts out the middleman in regulating what content is being seen or shown of you. And I'm sorry, but I know society these days is moving into a more risky, more risque, more pushing the envelope kind of society that let's see how far we can take it. And that's the part that scares me, which is why I think these challenges are so popular. So, Renee chimes in as well. She says, I think so much crap is on the internet and there should be some form of monitoring, but that seems impossible. I have seen videos that seem fine, and then amount of time in the video flips and it's no longer fine, which it was something that wasn't too long ago that came up. But I think as parents, we need to be monitoring our children's activity on the internet and discuss and talk openly to them about these video challenges, etc. And I agree with that. It is a really great comment, Renee, and thank you. It does fall always back onto, I feel like, onto the parents, of course. Parents are always going to be in charge of their children. And again, you can't watch them 24/7, but that is a great comment. And in regards to monitoring what goes up on the internet, that's a very difficult and touchy thing because of the freedom of speech and how easily accessible that kind of stuff is. Jared Wiesen says, I don't know if it's a lack of self-esteem versus wanting to be popular or living in an exciting life. And again, these are things that are now more out there than they've ever been. So that's also a great comment as well. Because truthfully, Insta fame, instant exciting life, it's all right at our fingertips through our phones and through the internet and through our computers and our laptops. And it is definitely something that these kids see and want to be a part of. And why wouldn't they? I mean, if you're gaining success and fame through posting videos, which you got things like TikTok, you have things like whatever I don't know, there's these singing apps that you can do and mimic songs, and I don't even know all of them because they just seem to be popping up all the time. New ones here and there that I just barely hear every once in a while through my kids. It's hard to stay on top of. But these are all really great comments, guys. And thank you so much for answering the question of the night. If you missed the question of the night and you're just joining us, the question of the night was, do you think there should be a better regulations or monitoring of what is going up on the internet? Or does that infringe on our freedoms like the freedoms of speech? Because these kids are doing these challenges and they're seeing them and being challenged to do them and seeing how people are getting viewers and followers for doing this kind of stuff. It's definitely the age and era of instant information and technology. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants the popular money, the big money that comes along with being famous and the recognition. But to do it or get it by harming or hurting yourself is definitely not okay. I agree with Renee on this one that we need to, as parents, have open discussions with our children about these types of challenges and things that they see out there and what's good and what's bad, and kind of help teach them maybe that there's other ways to be popular other than injuring or hurting or risking your own safety or self to do so. Now, I know no matter how much we talk about this, it's only going to continue to happen. It's only going to get worse, but we as parents have to make sure that we are monitoring and guiding our children in the best way we can. But I did find this article very interesting. It did happen in Michigan, which is another reason why I found it interesting and I saw it. But I mean, it just mind blows me. I can't imagine my 12-year-old soaking a shirt in rubbing alcohol or nail polish remover or something flammable and lighting himself on fire. I mean, I did some dumb stuff as a kid. I never thought about catching myself on fire. Hopefully none of you guys did either. I don't know. That to me though, that's the article. That's kind of what it all comes down to. And I thought it was a good question, and because it does really kind of open up the big, where's the limit of regulating this? At what point do we find intervention? And is it our responsibility to intervene, or is it the internet's responsibility to help limit what's out there or what's being seen? That's kind of that toss-up question of whose responsibility it is. Ultimately, I am always and 100% for, as a parent, that it is always the parent's responsibility of whatever their actions their child are going to do. But again, you can't protect them 24/7. You can't eye them 24/7 and watch over them. And the truth is, kids are going to be kids. But let's always hope that our children are safe and smart and healthy and don't get themselves into kind of the trouble like this and where they can scar and damage themselves. But that is the article that came up. That is the one I chose for this week. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you liked the question of the night. I love it when you guys are all the contributions. Thank you so much, guys, for all the comments. It definitely is an interesting topic, though, and I'd love to see how this continues to grow because, again, it's going to. We've seen the progression of Tide Pods to now hot water or flipping bottles and kicking bottle caps to now, boiling water and fire challenges. It is going to and continue to happen, I think. Diane weighs in. The state forces us to wear seat belts. That takes our freedoms so remove these stupid videos. And that's a safety thing. I can see the point. That's actually a decent point that the state does require it. We do need to do what we can to save our children. Absolutely. So that's a great point as well. The state does definitely get involved. Hi, Deborah. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining. We're just wrapping up the In the News section for tonight. Again, about the challenges that are out there on social media and the kids doing what they're doing on social media these days to try to gain popularity and trying to get instant fame, basically. So definitely was a good article. Thank you guys so much. You can always continue the conversation, as always, here on Car Lot Confessions as the show as you're viewing it now, or if you're viewing it later, or also the discussion section of our YouTube page as well, because we do upload all of our videos to YouTube as well. And so, guys, continue to keep the conversation alive if you like, here either in the chat, or you guys can do it on the Facebook or on the YouTube page. As always, we always love to go back, and I will go back and read any comments that are added to this video later on, or as the conversation keeps going, I absolutely would be involved as well. So please feel free to continue the conversation on the page. All right, with that said, let me see here. We need some more sound effects, I think, right, guys? First of all, I want to say and applaud all of you. Thank you so much for weighing in tonight. Again, the show is always greater when you guys are a part of it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Those are some great comments. Thank you so much for weighing in. It definitely makes the show a lot more enjoyable when I'm not the only one just giving my opinion. So thank you so much. All right, drum roll. All right, we're going to move on now to the positive personal recap and reflection of the week. Hopefully you guys like this segment. I like keeping you guys informed on how my week is going and what's been new. It is actually something I enjoy, and being able to share my life with you guys, and hopefully you guys can relate and things that go on in my life to your own. And of course, I try to always end it with a positive quote as well, because we always need something that can always lift us up. I enjoy that part of it as well. But let's go ahead and get into the positive recap. Another busy week. Boys played football this past Saturday. They had another loss, but they played some very, very big 7th and 8th graders, and they played very hard and very strong. Very proud of them. It was another loss, unfortunately, but the boys did play well. And congratulations to them for battling, and I respect every single one of the boys and everybody who plays football. Such a tough sport. Riley, my daughter, came in 2nd for her school and in 14th in her cross-country meet. Congratulations to her. She did get a medal. I'm so proud of her. She's been working really hard at it. And my wife started a new job this week as well, which is very nice. Congratulations to her. I hope she's enjoying her new job. Other than that, it's been another busy week of coaching and working and schoolwork and all of that, and it's been a very positive week. I've been working on that. So let's get into something I found out as well, and we're going to start adding this to our positive personal recap and reflection as well every week, I think, is we're going to start talking about seeing that there's some wonderful things that are recognized in every month. And let's start out with October here. October is World Mental Health Day is October 10th. It's actually 2 days from now. So in 2 days, World Mental Health Day is being recognized on the 10th. And what it is observed annually on October 10th, and this is a day for mental health education and awareness. And I bring this up on Carlock Confessions because we've talked about this a lot on the show, and how we need to recognize that this is definitely, and be aware that there is mental health issues, and it doesn't matter how old or how young you are, they exist. And sometimes it's easier to ignore them. I like that there's an actual day to be awareness of it. World Mental Health Day is October 10th. Knowing what to say or what not to say to someone can go a long way towards helping to ensure their mental health. To do so, you can find information at worldmentalhealthday.com. There's information there on how to help and deal with people with mental health issues. You can also post on social media using the hashtag World Mental Health Day on the 10th if you'd like. And just a real quick history, it was first observed in 1992 as the initiative of World Federation for Mental Health, a global mental health organization with members and contacts in many countries, started this day. I actually think it's a great thing to observe and for us to kind of continue to be aware of and to help with, because we've talked about it here on the show before. Mental health is definitely still an issue. And sometimes it's easier to ignore and to kind of turn the blind eye to, but it really does deserve our notice and our awareness of what is going on with it, and what mental health is and how we can help with it. So if you guys on the 10th, if you guys would do me a favor and kind of just check out what World Mental Health Day is and see how you can help, that would be greatly appreciated. That's one way you guys can always be the change. So I wanted to put that out there. All right, so that is the positive recap. Let's go ahead and move right into the positive quote. Love to hear what you guys think about this one. Here's my positive quote for you. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. I like this quote a lot because truth is we're always in this mindset of trying to find the next best thing, or trying to get the next best thing, or going to work and always trying to get to that next, which is good. But the happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. And I really like this quote. It resonates very much with me, because making the best of everything that you have is really the best way to be the happiest, I think. And I've really tried to take this to heart. And when I saw this quote, I thought this is a good one for today. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's a pretty good one. I enjoyed it a lot. It does resonate very much with me in my life that, I'm a very content kind of person, I feel like, for the most part, when it comes to things and materialistic type things and all that kind of stuff. I'm very content. But making the best of everything, even every situation, is really the best way to be happy. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think it's a good quote. Let me know if you guys kind of feel the same. Jared weighs in. I agree with that quote. Life is short, and people should always try to make the best of everything. That's true. We can't always control what happens to us. We can't always control what's happening around us. But if we can make the best of it, that's the best way to live as happy as you can. That's the way to be the change. So thank you, Jared. I totally agree with you. And Diane weighs in and says, so true. So thank you so much, guys, because it is true. It does. It resonates with me. That one's actually one of my more favorite quotes I think I've had as of late. But I always try to find ones that really do speak to my heart and to my life as well. So when I do tell them to you, I mean them. I mean them. They really do mean something to me. So sorry, excuse me, guys. All right. So it is about that time now where we're going to get into another favorite segment that I have here. It is shout out time, guys, here on Carlock Confessions. So if you guys have any shout outs that you would like for me to read on camera for you tonight during our episode, please go ahead and post them in the chat right now. I'll make sure to get to those as soon as I'm done with mine. I do have a few shout outs tonight. And I do really like this segment a lot because I do think that recognizing and shouting out some things that are positive and good is a great way to help start wrapping up the show. So here we go with the shout outs for today, October 10th or October 8th. And as always, I want to start off with unfortunately, my Detroit Lions had a bye week, which actually could have been a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and scream out and yell out for my Seahawks. They did squeeze out a good win over the great team, the Rams, when they played. So I want to shout out to the Seahawks, my second team, since my first team didn't play. Real quick, Kyle is on with us, guys, and I want to shout out, he is our birthday of today. Happy birthday, Kyle Pearson, who is on and part of our Car Lot Confessions community. Happy birthday, Kyle. So if everybody wants to wish Kyle a happy birthday, he was on and in the chat tonight and on the show, so he should be able to see those. And if he's not, I'm sure he'll come back and check them out later. But happy birthday, Kyle. To my wife, shout out to her for starting her new job. Congratulations on your new job today, starting out this week. I'm so proud of you and the new challenges you're facing, so shout out to you. I also want to shout out Lacey Wiggins, who I saw this past weekend when we went to the Orchard. She actually recognized me from the show, which was my first real off-camera recognition, which I really appreciate. Made my day. Shout out to you, Lacey. Thank you so much for your recognition and enjoying the show and being a part of the Car Lot Confessions community. And, of course, always a shout out to all of you tonight for being a part of the show and being a part of this community. Thank you so much, guys. Shout out to the CLC community. You guys are the greatest. Thank you so much. So those are my shout outs for tonight. Let's go to chat, see if anybody else has any. Jared's out there wishing Kyle a happy birthday. Thank you, Jared. What is the new job? Great question. She got a new job as a medical assistant working for Covenant. That's as far as I'm going to go into it. But this is something she's back into the medical field where she really enjoys and she is very, very good at. So I'm very happy for her. And I think this is going to be a good fit for her. And I know she's very excited about it. And I'm very proud of her for taking on new challenges. So shout out to her and thank you for inquiring. Jared as well. And one last shout out, if you guys didn't see it on the Car Lot Confessions community, Jared again has donated his blood to save some more lives. Again, well over 6 gallons. Shout out to Jared for donating blood and being the change. Jared, thank you so much for doing that and continuing to help and do what you can for your community and the people around you. So thank you so much. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being on. We're at the shout-out time. If anybody else has any other shout-outs they'd like to add to the show tonight, now's the time to do it, guys. Go ahead and get it in the chat so I can read it out for you. But this is a great time to recognize anything great or positive that's been happened in the last week or so, any birthdays or things that are going on in your lives or people that you know who might not even be part of the Car Lot Confessions community. It is always great to shout them out, give them a pat on the back, and let them know they're doing something great. This is one of my new favorite segments of the show. We are going to continue to do this every week. So if you guys have shout-outs that come up throughout the week and you guys want them on the next episode, please feel free to send me a private message, or you can even post them on the page, and I'll be more than happy to add them to the show to make sure you guys get your shout-outs listed. So because I think this is a great way of helping and being positive and being the change. So that is my shout-outs, guys. Do you guys have any others? The blood is going to Detroit Hospital. That is fantastic, Jared. I know they need it. Michigan is still in need of blood, so I know Jared's doing his part, and I need to find another place where I can go donate because it is still very much needed here in Michigan, and I know probably around the country you could use it as well. So, guys, if you get an opportunity to donate blood, please do so. It is a very easy way to give back and be part of the change. So thank you, Jared. All right, guys, we are coming to it. So if you guys have any last comments or anything you like to have to be part of the show tonight, guys, make sure you guys put it in the chat. Let's do a quick recap of the show. We opened the show up with going over last week's poll. Of course, as always, the Late Show or the Tonight Show was last week's poll. I believe there was an 83-17 split in regards to the Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon, clearly there's more fans for Jimmy than there is for Stephen Colbert. Let's see, what else? We talked about the poll question for tonight. Guys, don't forget today is National Pierogi Day, or at least for another 2 hours. National Pierogi Day, and I want to know if you guys enjoy them or not. I do. But make sure you guys go to that poll and put it in. Let me know what you guys think. We did Grinds My Gears tonight, which is thankful. My daughter gave me this topic, but people that chew with their mouths open, that was something that grinds my gears, hopefully, or maybe it does yours as well. We went over the news article. Again, these challenges that are out there in social media and people setting themselves on fire, to me, that's insane. We got to watch out for our kids. So many kids these days are wrapped up into instant fame and fortune, and seeing that it's happening for so many out there, they're willing to do just about anything as well to get a piece of that. So we talked about that and all the billions of users that are on Instagram and YouTube all the time. And as parents, we need to do a better job of monitoring our kids and things like that. We talked about the question of the night, that if there should be monitoring or regulations in regards to what goes up on the internet to help combat that. But we also talked about possibly that infringing on the freedom of speech and the rights of people and what they're able to do and see. We had our positive quote and our positive recap. Real quick, positive quote again, resonated with me a lot. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. And to me, that was a great quote, so I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I believe most of you did. Then we talked about it being World Mental Health Day on October 10th. Guys, don't forget, please go ahead and check that out in a couple of days. Go check out World Mental Health Day and go ahead and go to worldmentalhealthday.com to check out some things that you can do for that. We did our shout-outs. Shout out to you guys again, the community. We love you guys. And let's see here real quick. One more look at the chat before we're done for the night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. Renee says, Michigan Blood is in Saginaw. Would love for you to donate. They supply our local hospitals. Thank you. I will definitely look into that because I am looking to donate again. Justin says, sorry, Bud, busy tonight. I'll catch the show in the AM. Always catch the reruns, Justin. Thanks so much for being here now. Check it out. Leave some comments. I'll make sure to respond back for you. And Julie chimes in regards to being half Polish. And I absolutely know that she probably enjoys pierogies than being half Polish. So go there. Make sure you guys smash that vote button. And as always, guys, make sure you guys share this video. Hit a like button on there for me so I know you guys like the video tonight as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's show. I enjoyed it. I just love being here and hosting this show for you guys. Thank you so much again for all your support, as always. That's it. That's the show. That's everything. Like, share, follow, and click on everything so you guys can get the notifications, making sure you know every time I go live so you don't miss a live episode of Car Lot Confessions, guys. Again, I am your host, Frank Fanzoni. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, guys, remember, be the change. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you guys being here. I will see you guys next Tuesday live for another episode of Car Lot Confessions. Good night, everyone. Have a great week.